Good evening, Loving Choices community. My name is Reagan Benz, and I'm privileged to serve on the Board of Directors for Loving Choices. On behalf of the board and our staff, we want to thank you for joining our virtual live stream event this evening. In chapter 4 of his letter to the church at Philippi, the Apostle Paul wrote, "And my God will supply all of your needs according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus." We're so pleased to report out to you this evening that through this time of uncertainty, God's hand of provision has been on Loving Choices ministry this past year, and we've continued to be a beacon of hope and light to young women and men who are faced with the temptation to choose death over life. By God's grace and through your faithful stewardship, our doors have remained open, and we've advanced the tenets of our mission to provide excellent counseling and be of service to those who are experiencing a reproductive health crisis, and to preserve and protect human life so that our clients can find hope. We've prepared a special program for you this evening, and we hope that you're blessed through the testimony of Judge Joseph Wood. We thank you for your continued partnership and engagement with us in this important kingdom work. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce you to Penny Stamili, our Director of Development for Loving Choices.
As many of you know, Dana and I meet at Mimi's for pancakes the morning after Banquet to start planning for the following year's banquet. And last year was no exception. By December of 2019, we had a theme, a speaker, and a date all planned, and we were feeling really good about things. And then COVID hit, and life has not been the same. This is my 4th year as Director of Development at Loving Choices, and I absolutely love Banquet. I love meeting new supporters and catching up with loyal donors. I love the energy that's in a room of 1,000 pro-lifers. And I love looking out into the crowd and seeing your smiling faces. In 2021, I pray that we can all be together again. But for now, I sit in my house while you are in yours. I want to take this time to personally thank our banquet sponsors. It is because of their generosity that their underwriting this year is going towards a matching grant for all monies raised tonight. Yes, your donations will be doubled. Please take notice of these pro-life businesses and support them. They're on our website and they've been on the screen while you've been waiting for the program to begin. I want to especially thank Sam's Furniture for being our presenting sponsor. Let's take a moment to hear a special message from Joe and Lara.
Joe and Lara here with Sam's Furniture, and we want to welcome you to this year's Loving Choices virtual fundraiser event. I know things look a little different this year, but we've all had to get used to it. But thank you so much for taking the time to watch this event tonight and to consider donating and supporting Loving Choices for all they do. Our family and our business just love this cause and what they mean to the Northwest Arkansas community, and so we've been partnering with them for years, and we're going to continue to. And we hope that you pray and take time to consider really supporting them. Get involved any way you can. They do some amazing things, and it's just really important that we take this step and support people like Loving Choices.
We really appreciate all of you and your heart for this cause. You know, we have invested in this personally. We have invested in this as a company, just because we truly believe in what Loving Choices is doing. So thank you so much for joining. We hope that so many new people are able to see this now that it's virtual. We can reach way far beyond just our Northwest Arkansas area and just build a bigger and better partnership. This year obviously is different and it brings more challenges, and so the more audience that we can reach, the more chance that we have in helping these teens in crisis.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you on your next trip to Sam's Furniture.
Thanks, Joe and Lara. We appreciate your support. I'd also like to thank our watch party hosts who have opened up their homes to their friends and families and are watching our event together. One of these lucky hosts will be the winner of the $1,000 Sam's Furniture gift card. Let's see who that is.
And the winner is, see who the lucky person is, Kim West. Congratulations.
Congratulations! We'll make sure we mail you that gift card. Again, thank you for supporting the life-saving work that we do. Together, we are saving babies, changing lives, and empowering families. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Executive Director, Dana Sweetall.
Welcome to each of you, from my home to yours. I'm so excited that you've decided to join Loving Choices. As I prayed about what to share tonight, the word that kept coming to my mind was gratitude. Webster's defines gratitude as an emotion of the heart, excited by a favor or benefit received, a sentiment of kindness or goodwill towards a benefactor. Thankfulness. I have gratitude towards God and towards you. Your faithful giving and being a part of Loving Choices is what sustained us through this time. We have been through some uncharted waters, but God has held us and never left us alone. In His word in Deuteronomy 31:6, He says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you or forsake you." We did have to close the center for a few weeks during everything that was going on, but we never stopped seeing abortion-minded girls. We would go to the center and give them life-saving ultrasounds, counsel with them. 4 babies were saved during this time from an abortion, 1 through an abortion reversal. The girl had gone to Little Rock to have an abortion, and on her way home, she was filled with regret. She was able to contact us, and we were able to meet her at the center and give her the abortion pill reversal. A lot of you were with us during that time in prayer, and you prayed as things were touch and go for a while. We weren't sure how things were going to turn out. But praise God, next month, she'll be holding that little baby. Loving Choices has an incredible staff, and each one of us has different stories that have brought us together to come and save lives. I want you to hear from one of those staff members directly in her own words.
Almost 40 years ago now, at the age of 16, I had an abortion. I am Bettina Lofman. I am the client manager at Loving Choices at the Rogers location. And that statement alone, that sentence, is a testimony of God's goodness in my life, that He would allow me to work at Loving Choices. I actually get to do what I love best, and that is meeting with the clients and just loving on them. And for me, it is just humbling to see that what used to be the biggest secret and the biggest burden in my life, to see God use those ashes in women's life, because I do treat our clients in a way that I sometimes wish I would have had somebody in my life that would have said, "You can do this, and I'm going to be walking this with you." The positivity of it would have made a big difference in my life. So one of the things about Loving Choices I absolutely love is that we don't just say, "Don't have an abortion and good luck." But Loving Choices does something, and we do it so well in our care program, that the girl that doesn't have the best support, we are that support through the entire pregnancy up to the baby's 9 months of age. She can come in and she learn everything she needs to know, how to take care of that baby, all the things that she's experiencing through the pregnancy. And then, of course, that beautiful time when they come back and bring those babies. And the feeling that you have of seeing a baby that at one point you were sitting across the room from the mom to be, with her telling you that there is no way she can have this baby. And to be allowed to share with her. And a lot of times my own story comes into play, and I get to tell her about my regrets, about the baby I didn't have. And then to have that young girl bring back that baby and place it into my arms, and that overwhelming sense of joy, and that you can be used even with the ugliest thing in my life, my own abortion, and because of who our God is, that He can use these ashes and bring beauty from them.
Beauty from ashes. We've all had moments in our life of ashes that God turned something that we thought was going to destroy us into something beautiful. Thank you, Bettina, so much for sharing your heart with us. If you were with us a few years ago, You know about the M&M project, mobiles and men, and both are going strong. Alexandra, our mobile unit, has seen 164 clients this year and saved 10 babies from abortion. It was a little over a year ago that Alexandra was instrumental in closing down the Planned Parenthood in Fayetteville, and praise God, it's still closed. Babies are being saved just by her presence. The men's program is going strong as well. A story that comes to mind is we had a guy and his girl that came into the center. They already had a little baby, so they were not ready for another one. We took the guy upstairs, and as he started talking to the male mentor, he said, I really think I can do this. I really think we can parent another one. And they asked him, did you tell her? And he said, no, I just told her I would support whatever her decision was. See, guys are told. They don't have a voice. It's the girl's body, it's the girl's choice. So he wanted to show her support by just saying, whatever you want. We encouraged him to go downstairs and share his heart with her, which he did. We gave him a voice, and because of that, she felt the love and support she needed, and they chose life. Our men's ministry has seen 164 men this year and have had 5 salvations. They are changing families all across Northwest Arkansas. Our centers located in Rogers and Fayetteville have seen 2,079 clients and saved 68 babies from abortion. Our care center offers continual support for men and women. Some come to our center feeling hopeless and they don't feel like they have any choice. Let's hear from one of our clients in her own words.
My name is Jessica. I came to Loving Choices because I had Googled abortion options. I had found out that I was pregnant and I did not think that I could do this. I have a 16-year-old son and I was really scared of how he was going to react to the news. So I just kind of wanted to, I guess, take care of the situation. I came in here and from day one, the ladies showed me a lot of love and support, and you don't feel judged. Like, you can come in here and tell them how you feel, what you're thinking, and they won't ever look down on you or tell you that you're wrong. They let you feel your feelings, and I think that's the most important thing that I've really gotten out of this. One day I was in the area and I called the ladies and I said, hey, I'm ready to tell my son. Would it be possible for him to come in and see an ultrasound? And they told me that they would be glad to share that experience with me. So I brought him in, and when they pulled up the screen and he saw the ultrasound, his face just lit up and he said, is that a baby? And I said, yeah, I'm gonna have a baby. And at the same time, I just started crying because I really thought that he would be upset. But instantly he said, no, Mom, like, I'm happy, like, we're gonna have a baby. And that kind of gave me the courage to say, you know what, I think I can do this again and everything's gonna be okay. And I'm very, very thankful for everything that Loving Choices has done for me and my family. To me, it means everything. The people that sponsor Loving Choices, you don't know what that means to a person that is lost. Without the support of the donors, without the support of the community and everyone that has a hand in this, I could have possibly done something that I really would have regretted.
What an inspiring testimony. Because of you and your support, we were able to help Jessica to feel the love and support she needed to choose life for her baby. So thank you. I had a chance to speak at a meeting last year, and I had the privilege of meeting Washington County Judge Joseph Wood. He has an amazing story. You see, Judge Joseph Wood, wait a minute. Let's let him tell his story in his own words.
The young girl sat on her bed and sobbed. She just had a beautiful brown-eyed baby boy. Although thrilled to have a baby, she is sad that she cannot provide a good life for her baby. Tears of joy and sorrow flowed together. She wrapped the baby in sheets and a soft blanket from her bed and laid him in an old basket that she found in her closet. It was extremely cold in Chicago, and she wanted her tiny baby boy to be safe. The determined young girl bundled herself up and carried the baby into the night. So cold and so scared. "Here, I will leave you here," she whispered when she got to an apartment building just a few blocks from her home, the cold air and tears freezing on her face. The baby wiggled under the warm blanket but remained very quiet. She tucked the basket on the doorsteps of the apartment building out of the falling snow. "May you be safe, my baby, my precious baby," she prayed as the snow flurries blew in the night. She ran across the street and watched the basket on the steps from behind a tree. She hoped that it would not be long before her baby boy would be okay. Suddenly, a light shone above the door. A soldier named Caesar opened the door and walked down the stairs. He stopped and stooped and noticed the wooden basket. The blanket in the basket moved. Caesar then lifted a corner of the basket. He lifted the blanket and he looked closer and he saw a baby crying under the blanket. "It's okay," he told the baby. "Shh, shh, come on, it's okay." But the baby boy kept on crying. Caesar didn't know what to do. He looked around, he looked up and down the street and saw no one. Then he looked back at the crying baby. "Shh," he said, "it's okay. Let's get you inside where it's warm." There was a note. "Please take care of my baby Joy." Caesar picked up the basket, careful not to slip on the ice. He rushed the baby into the warmth of the apartment building. "Sweetheart, there's a baby on the front stairs," Caesar called to his wife. The young girl behind the tree watched the man take her baby inside the apartment building. She waited a little while longer, sniffling quietly, and then she returned home. "Sweetheart, where are you? I found a baby outside on the stairs. Sweetheart, where are you?" Finally, his wife appeared. Together, Caesar and his wife pulled back the blanket. They looked at each other, and Joy cried louder. Caesar called a few of his neighbors to come and help. "What is going on, Caesar?" asked the neighbor. "Whose baby is this?" another asked. "Is the baby hungry? Was this baby outside in the snow and ice?" Time passed very quickly. The apartment was very busy with neighbors all wanting to help. Joy had quieted down. He was safe and warm inside. Caesar called the police to come. The police officers asked Caesar and the neighbors questions. They also checked the neighborhood for any clues as to who might have left that baby outside in the cold weather, but they did not find anyone. So they returned to Caesar and his wife and the apartment full of neighbors, and to Joy, who was now asleep in the neighbor's arms. Caesar and the police officers thanked the neighbors for coming to help. They wrapped Joy back up in the blanket and tucked him back into the basket. One police officer told Caesar, "Hey, you saved this little boy. I know you were really surprised about what you saw, but you did a good thing tonight." Caesar and his wife kissed the little baby goodbye. The police left the apartment building with Joy. They took him to St. Vincent's Orphanage downtown. Caesar and his wife talked about what happened all night. Joy would be safe in the orphanage. They were thankful to be a part of saving Joy's life. The end. And that little boy in that basket was me. I was Joy. I am Joy. And that's the beginning of my story. Grew up in the city of Chicago, south side of Chicago. Mom, dad, two brothers, one sister, and pretty much a tough area of Chicago, Jeffrey Manor. A lot of gang violence, a lot of drugs. So it was a tough growing. Mom was a teacher, dad was a construction worker. So the whole time I knew I was adopted. So I spent a lot of time growing up wondering why. Why was I given up for adoption? What did I do? And there always just questions. I see somebody, is that part of my family? I don't know. And I always done searches. Nobody ever matched up to mine until about I was 46, 47 years old. And I got a ding. And I was, you're stunned. I mean, I was just amazed. I am your dad. You have brothers and sisters. I've been searching for you for almost 40-something years. I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, it was 3 days later before I finally respond to him and say, well, how do you know I'm your son? He said, you still seem a little skeptical about this. And I said, well, yeah, I am, because all these years I didn't know. And he said, well, I'll be happy to do a DNA. I said, well, I'll pay for it. And I did the DNA, and it came back as not a match. Months later, I finally get my birth certificate. At this point, I got a few kids. I got grandkids. I know what a birth certificate looks like. And when I opened it up, it said, this is your foundling birth certificate. I said, what's a foundling? You were found. And I mean, whoa, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was found. What do you mean? You were found at this address by this man, Caesar Johnson, and you were received in the orphanage by this doctor. It just rocked me. So it took me, it shattered me, it really did. Well, I did all this research, a number of Caesar Johnsons who live in the state of Illinois, but then I eliminated more than 70% of them because they were younger than me, so it couldn't have been them. 3 names left, and I said, okay, all right, I'm gonna call. The very first number I called, older woman answered the phone, and I said, hey, my name is Joseph Wood, I live here in Arkansas. I'm looking for a guy by the name of Caesar Johnson. He spells his name a little different. He would have saved somebody. She said, hold on, you said save somebody? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, was it the baby he saved? I said, yes, ma'am. Are you the baby he saved? Yes, ma'am. Oh, Jesus, oh! And she went into a Holy Ghost, and I just started bawling. Oh, Jesus, oh, Lord Jesus, Caesar, that baby you saved. Oh, Jesus. And I mean the whole snotting. I am a mess. It was horrible. And he comes to the phone, and I'm trying to, and he's like, oh my gosh, oh my, that had to be like 50 years ago. No, only 46, And he's like, oh my, you alive? Oh. He said, wow, I remember like it was yesterday. And he said, man, if you ever get to Chicago, I would love to. I said, well, I'll be in Chicago next month. It's Thanksgiving. I'm coming to see my dad, and we'll be up there. He said, I would love to meet you. I said, great. So we take the family up there, my daughters and my wife. We go to Chicago to visit him. But before we get to him, we go to the orphanage, and the most beautiful place. But when you walk in, you see all these pictures from days gone by, and you say, wow, how happy the kids were. And it transformed me, because this is where I started. And we spent hours in there. Then they gave me a little folder of, here's the information. You were 5 pounds when you were brought to us. I never knew, man, I'm getting choked. I didn't know any of that. You were 5 pounds, and you were in relatively good condition when they brought you in. And so I was there for probably a year and a half before my mom and dad came to foster care me. My mom and dad had been married 5 years. She was in high school. She wrote in her high school yearbook, I want to be a teacher, and I want a house full of kids. And my dad was a construction worker, and he built a large part of the city of Chicago, but he hated coming home from work because my mother put him back to work. She wanted to get pregnant and have a kid. And so one day she said, well, it's been 5 years, no kids. Let's adopt. Let's go to the orphanage and get a little girl. And my dad's like, yeah. You get off my back, that'd be great. And so they go to the orphanage, and she sees this little boy. She said, nope, I don't want a little girl. I want this little boy. Let's foster him. And so they brought me home and started fostering. And sure enough, he's happy because she's happy. And they both relax. And next thing you know, she gets pregnant. And a year later, she had my brother. And then she gets pregnant again. And a year later, she has my sister. And then she gets pregnant again. She has more. So it's like the Lord said, I'm going to give you a house full of kids, but you go get this kid first. We leave there, and we go then to go visit with Caesar and his wife. And what a great meeting with him and his family. And they just loved on us. And about a few years ago, hey, would you come to our family reunion in Greenwood, Mississippi? I don't know your family. My wife said, we're going to go. I said, but I don't know anybody. Why do you want me to go? He said, we want you to speak at the luncheon. I said, Speak to your family about what? About your story, because we never want our family to take for granted what you've been searching for. That got me. So how all this, and I guess it ties into loving choices, all because there's a woman who had me. She made a loving choice. And I still don't, to this day, don't know who she is or where she's from and what happened. But all I do know is I grew up saying to myself, dang, man, she was a prostitute. I guess it didn't matter, she had me. Was she too old? I guess it doesn't matter, she had me. Was she too young? It didn't matter, she had me. And that helped me get through until I shared that one day to Mr. Caesar. Mr. Caesar said, well, she did a little more than had you. She must have loved you, because she could have put you in a plastic bag and left you in the alley, and I would have never saw you, and you'd have froze. And it gave me some more context about this woman who I love, who I never met. But it's, again, that choice, making that decision to say, I can't do, but I can, and that's a caring. And I think that's the big message. If all you can do, you can have a number of reasons why you can't, but you can do one thing, you can care. And the caring was to say, I can have this kid. For Caesar, who could have stepped over me and kept on going to work, but he didn't. He said, there's a kid, I got to do something. And this is why I'm here, because of all these decisions, all these choices. And it's a loving choice to say, yes, I care. Whatever it is, whether it's adoption, which we would love, or say, I can be a foster parent, or I can tutor, I can go into a school and read, I can mentor. That's caring, and that can change a kid, can change a family, and really draw the very best of what God has put in us. So it's been an interesting journey, and we all have a journey. This journey through foster care and adoption, again, it all comes down to choices. My mom, who left me on that apartment doorstep, was a loving choice. Mr. Caesar, and not going to work but stopping to help this kid who was left out and abandoned in the cold. A loving choice, a decision, showing care, the community, the police officers. You too can do something. You too can adopt or foster care, mentor, but you can do something tonight. Tonight, we need your support, we need your help. With COVID and the number of things that's going on, facing a lot of families and kids, but we need you to really come through for us and continue to push and take care of the administration, the programs, and the work that we do to help those kids, those parents, those kids who are needing the support and help. So with that, I want you to think big picture. You heard about the amazing things that we do at Loving Choices, and how much can you give in 2021 to save these babies, to change lives and empower families? Do you get a Christmas bonus? What about your tax return? Put that big number in box number 2. Now let's break that big number down in what you can give tonight, and then what you can give throughout the year 2021. In section 3, put what you're giving tonight. Miss Penny has asked me to beg you, please print legibly. In section 4, that's the difference between that big sacrificial number and what you're giving tonight. For example, if you're prayerfully partnering with Loving Choices and pledge $5,000 in 2021, and tonight you're writing a check for $1,000, that leaves a balance of $4,000. Will you give the remainder monthly, quarterly, or annually? Thanks for having me join you. Thanks for being a committed partner to Loving Choices. We couldn't do this work without you. And again, tonight is more important than ever, given all the dynamics that's going on in our country, given what's going on with COVID. We need your support. These families need your support. These kids need your support. Continue to care. Continue making loving choices.
See? An amazing story I told you. Thank you, Judge Joseph Wood, for supporting Loving Choices. You heard Judge Joseph Wood speak about your financial form. At this time, if you're having a watch party, your host can hand them out for you to fill out. Many of you have seen this form in the past. The only difference is you can check for a recurring donation, which you can stop at any time. If you're at home, you can fill out the form we mailed to you, or you can go to our website at supportlc.org/events and click on the financial form to fill out. I cannot say thank you enough for being a part of Loving Choices. Thank you for spending some time with us. We exist because of people like you and the financial support that you give us, and I have gratitude towards you. Next year, we are hoping we get to meet face to face again and see your smiling faces. But for now, God bless you.